Are you struggling with getting new clients? I know that that is something that I hear many, many times when, my clients are coming to me saying, Susan, I'm just not getting any clients. I can't find any new customers. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? Why isn't this working? I'm ready to quit. And, it's amazing how fast that pendulum swings to the other side of people wanting to quit because they're so frustrated that, they're just not getting the kind of clients that they need in order to make a successful business. If I just described you, stick around because I've got a very special guest with me, Cheryl Bishop. And Cheryl and I had a chat a while ago. And I said, I need to have you come back, Cheryl, because we need to talk a little bit more about the common struggles that entrepreneurs, especially women entrepreneurs, but not exclusively, are finding in their business. They have this vision, they have this dream, and they might get out of the starting gate all gung-ho, but then they hit a roadblock. And you had said something that really resonated as, basically it's a question that the entrepreneur who is struggling should ask themselves. And so why don't you tell us what that question is and let's kind of explore this a little bit more.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Susan, for having me here. And thank you for tuning in here and, really assisting yourself to grow because that's what it takes. You've got to listen and listen and learn all the time from others that maybe have been there. But when you said that, it reminded me of a story that I went through years ago when I started a direct sales company. And I started this company. It was actually Party Light Gifts. And what I liked about it was candles. I loved candles back in the day. This is 20 some odd years ago when it first started. And I remember the lady that got me to start, or actually I asked questions and I wanted to start, is because, my husband and I bought a house and we were getting married and my husband just lost his job. Oh. So it was like, okay, yes, the pressure was on. Yeah. The pressure was on because I was going on a honeymoon. I was not going on a honeymoon. That's what the pressure was, right?
Whatever it takes, whatever gets us up out of bed in the morning to make that money, right?
Exactly. So I had a candle party and I had this lady over and I asked her, so how much money did you make? She goes like $300. I went, what? In a couple hours? Sign me up is what I said. I had no idea about direct sales. Yeah. So in the day you had to get 6 bookings. So I did that. Of course, you always go to mother, sister, family will help you out. Friends help you out. But then I had this false belief in my mind. I had 6 the following 6 months and all 6 of them canceled. So I phoned up my upline and said, I guess this business is not meant for me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And she went, the best thing she could have ever done is said, Cheryl, you had customers from the last 6 months of doing this. Just get on the phone and just get one more booking. Well, I thought to myself, I'll prove her that I can't.
I can't prove to her that you can't succeed in this business. No,
I got on the phone, and that one booking led me into a 14-year career. Right? So what I'm saying with that is the question, going back to what you're saying, is are you interested in the business or are you committed to yourself, to your success in the business? When I first started, I was interested.
Yeah.
But then I changed it and started to be committed to, I'm going to build this. And then I trained myself to not only get one booking from every show, because the first booking just replaces, it makes the business the same. It's the second booking that helped me grow the business, right?
So what's the difference between interested and committed? What does that look like for an entrepreneur who's maybe a coach who wants to start a coaching business?
Yes. Well, there's so many people that educate on interested versus committed. There's a lot of different perspectives of that.
We knew what you meant.
Often, interested is when you allow your feelings to get in your own way. I don't feel like going to the networking event today because I'm having a bad morning. Yeah. That's a feeling and the excuses coming in that why you don't want to. If you are so committed to your success, you will kick yourself in the butt and make sure you go.
You will do whatever it takes.
You will do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
I bet you if I could ask all of you a question here and you could raise your hand, my question would be, okay, comment
below.
My question to you is, how many of you here have registered for an event, you said to yourself you didn't want to go, and then you ended up going and it was the best event you went to?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No kidding. Absolutely.
Yes. It happens to all of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the difference right there.
The commitment made you go.
Yes.
Even if you didn't feel like going.
That's right.
And then it ended up being the best thing to do. I always say that when I attend an event, I always get something out of it, and I always walk away saying, yeah, absolutely, I know I was meant to be here today.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's when you're committed.
Yeah.
When you're committed to make a difference, when you're committed to grow your business, when you have a heart's desire in your heart to make something happen, you're going to be committed. Yeah. And you're going to be focused on the results, not like the excuses that we allow.
There's a good story that you were talking about the focusing on the results. Do you remember what that was about? Our excuses will often make us pause and wonder, oh, do I really want to go that? But if we focus on the results, what the end game is, I think you were talking about an Olympian swimmer.
Oh, right. Yes. Actually, I mentioned Tony Robbins first. Tony Robbins, I saw him do a video. Apparently he has this ice pool he jumps into every morning, and so many people say that's great. I don't know if I can do
I'm not that committed.
I like warmth. Anyways, the story of that is that he says, do you think I feel like going into the ice cold pool in the morning? No, but what he focuses on is the end results. He knows by jumping into that pool, he can become the best he can be for others. And it's like, then I brought in the Olympians. Do you think the Olympians like doing all the things they do every single day? Yeah. There are times where I'm sure they don't feel like doing it. However, they make themselves do it because the end result is they want that gold medal. Yeah. That's what they focus on, is the gold medal. Yeah. Right? And so that's where it's so important, is for you to make your commitments and what you want out of life and business. If you don't have a plan, how are you going to know where you're going to go? Yeah. And how to get there? How
are you going to be committed to a non-plan?
Right.
Yeah. And even though I'm very committed to my business, I've been doing this for, over 15 years. I just thought of something that last spring I went to a big, huge social media convention, and there were lots of opportunities for, there was thousands of people there, and I was by myself. And you might not know it, but I actually am a little bit of an introvert. And when I had a choice of, should I go to that networking dinner, the wine and dine thing, or should I just stay in my room and read? It was a real pull for me. I had a little bit of an argument going on inside of myself, and a couple of times I did decide, no, I'm just going to stay in my room and just stay away from the crowds. But now that you're saying this, I'm kind of going, yeah, you know what? I should have put on my big girl pants.
Totally.
And that with the commitment written all over it, and went, because who knows what I missed out on an opportunity had I gone.
You never know. Yeah. It could be the person you meet, or it could be the person you meet that they know. Yeah. The world is so huge and so many opportunities can happen. Yeah. But often we get in our own way.
We do, don't we? Yeah, those mind games just kick in, and you have I have a little bit of headache. Oh, my arm hurts. My gosh, we can come up with a litany of excuses. But what Cheryl and I are saying is just excuses be gone. That's somebody's saying somewhere. And, just forget about it and say, ask yourself, what?
Are you committed, or are you interested in growing your business? Are you committed or interested in your relationship with, whether it's your children, your spouse, it doesn't matter, friends, whatever it is. Yeah. You got to decide, what is your commitment level? Where do you want to go? Because once you decide on your commitment level, then you're going to be able to map out where you want to go. Yeah. It's like going to Hawaii. If you don't know where you're going to go, or what date you're going to go, as in month or day of the week, whatever it is, how are you going to know how to book your flight? Yeah. You need to know those things.
You make a commitment when you're planning vacation.
Right?
Yeah. And you come up with the money, interestingly enough, easily, when you make a commitment to go on vacation. So the same thing can happen with our business too. How many times do we hear, oh, I can't afford that?
Yeah. Yes. What you focus on will expand.
Yeah.
That's the law.
Yeah.
You know, you focus on good, you'll get good. You focus on the bad, you get bad.
If you keep saying you can't afford that, you won't.
Mm-hmm.
You will never be able to afford it. But if you're committed, and I have seen lots of people do this who really don't have much money at all, but they're committed to making a go of their business, and they find the money. They find a way.
Well, that's where there's a will, there's a way. That's where it comes from. When the will is so strong, you will find a way to make it happen for yourself.
Yeah.
Opportunities will start coming its way when you make the commitment. I'm going to do that, this, that, whatever it is, and nothing's going to take me off my game.
Yeah.
And you have to step into that commitment, because if you're interested, your emotions will, and your excuses and everything else will just take you right out of the game.
It will. It's just like that too. It's immediate.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you're sleeping in and and
missing meetings and
not
not studying
not
what you should be studying, whatever it is.
Yeah, you just lose. It's like a downward spiral that really happens. And I've experienced it myself. Like even as early as last year, some of you may remember when I fractured my arm. And, some could say, yeah, you have an excuse. You have a broken arm, but I was still very committed to serving our clients and making sure that my team had work to do. So, my commitment is making sure that, that our business is thriving so that my team has a job. But even with that commitment of going back to work as soon as I, I didn't have a cast on, but I had a brace. And try typing, 24 hours a day with my hand. That wasn't easy. But it's still, there were still moments in that where energetically I was not 100% there. And it was amazing how much of an impact that had on our business. Even when, it was only half commitment, let's say, I was committed enough to still go to work, but energetically, I was wishing that I didn't have to, so that when you're not feeling well, everything just kind of sinks.
and that's with everything in life.
Yeah, and it took a long time to turn that around and play the right mind games and bring everything back to the pace that it normally is. But I shared that with you because it happens to everybody.
Yes.
No matter how successful somebody comes across as, we all go through the ups and downs, the hills and the valleys, and we all have the mind games that we have to deal with. And the beauty is that we have people like Cheryl that we can tap into and have her remind us about that commitment and about doing what it takes and getting out there and stop playing at running your business and actually run your business like a professional business person should.
Yeah. Get in the driver's seat of your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say this morning? I said, you're the commitment officer.
I wrote that down. Yeah, you're the commitment officer
of your business. It's up to you. It really is. I'm a firm believer that your birthright is to be successful, period.
Yeah.
But you have to be committed to making that success happen for you. It doesn't happen. Everybody else doesn't do it for you. No, it's
not magical. And it's not up to so-and-so. It's not up to the economy. It's not up to whoever's in power at the time. None of that matters.
Those are all excuses,
They're all
excuses. Quite frank.
Yeah. It really is up to us to make a go of our own business and do what it takes to get that commitment going.
Totally.
Cheryl, thank you so much for sharing that, because I really truly believe that every entrepreneur on this planet needs to hear this because it is so prevalent, and we're not making any accusations at all here, because it all happens very slyly behind the scenes. We're not conscious of our negative thoughts.
Right.
And so, this isn't a slight on anybody.
No, not at all.
It's a reminder to be conscious of what you're saying to yourself and what excuses you're saying to yourself, and realizing, oh, wait a second. That's a negative belief that I really need to turn around because I want to be committed to my business.
We all have it. I had it years ago, and I went through a leadership training this is like 25, 30 years ago. And where I recognized I was doing so much negative talk to myself that I grabbed an elastic band because I had to figure out, how do I stop talking so negative about myself? Yeah. And so anytime I would catch myself talking negative, I would pull that band and I would snap it. Oh yes, I had many welts here. That's how many negative
So
thoughts
you don't have to self-mutilate yourself.
No, you don't have to. But for me, that was something
worked.
that worked for me. You just got to find what works for you. And in time, my brain went, that hurts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to think
doing
like that anymore. And so now, that's right.
Awesome.
So now I'm able to absolutely constantly, and anytime that negative creeps in, I'm able to switch it out real quick now, because I was able to grow this skill. It's a skill. We can all do it. We just have to learn how to do it.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
We're not born this way.
We're not born this way, no.
So Cheryl, you have a couple of things that we can invite our viewers to attend. Cheryl, you have a networking and mastermind kind of a group, and I really love this group because it involves all the wonderful things that we love about networking events. There's a little bit of networking, there's some masterminding, some melding of the minds and helping other people, and a little bit of fun and some education. And right now you have these events all throughout the lower mainland of BC, Canada. So if you don't live in the Fraser Valley, I think Cheryl one day is going to have some online version of what she does. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the networking events and also your mastermind group that you have?
Awesome. Thank you. So the monthly networking events happen in different cities. So one happens in Cloverdale, Surrey, BC, just outside of Vancouver. One happens in Coquitlam. One happens in Burnaby and Abbotsford, which is out in the valley. Those are the 4 cities right now. Stay tuned. Like, who knows when the next city or where the next city is going to be. I'm not sure. I'm just listening. I'm just,
why don't you make it like Hawaii or something?
Well, it just might be Hawaii, Fiji, anywhere tropical is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So right now it's happening local in my area where I live. No more than an hour out. And then I also do Mastermind. I actually started with Mastermind groups first. And what that is we study the book Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is a phenomenal psychology book that if you haven't read, you need to read it.
Definitely read it.
By Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
It's been around since like 1930s.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, it's still
the Bible of business.
Yes, it's the Bible of business.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I love it so much, because it is the Bible of business. If you're not right in your mindset and set up for success, that's when the business can struggle, because often we take ourselves out of our own game. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mastermind groups are groups where we meet every 2 weeks for 7 months, because it takes us that long to go through the book. Plus there's some education along the way, some processes on the way. And we meet in private offices, because it's all about 10 to 12 women get together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that I've spoken to some people who have been a part of her group, and phenomenal results. Like, seriously, if you are struggling in your business, or if you're starting and you're brand new, you don't really know how to get going, or a lot of mind games are playing, your self-doubt is kicking in. I highly recommend that you seek out Cheryl. So how do people get a hold of you, Cheryl?
Well, my website is number one, which Suzanne has created for me and helped me with that as well, is resilientwomeninbusiness.com.
Yeah.
I also have a Facebook group. So all our events are on the website and the Facebook group. And
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I so appreciate you coming and sharing your wise words of wisdom with our followers today. And thank you for showing up. I so appreciate you being here. I hope that you learned some little tidbit, at least something to help you if you are struggling with your business. Think about the terms of commitment and the mind games that you might be playing, and you might not even be aware of it. So just go inside and think, and don't brush us off as, oh, that's not me, because that might be a telltale sign that it really is you.
Right.
The more we want to resist having to face the truth, the more we're going to brush it off as that doesn't pertain to me. That's not what's going on for me.
Yeah.
You know?
We're all human beings.
We are human beings.
And we all go through the same challenges and mindset and all of that. We all do.
Yeah, we do. So if you have any comments at all or any questions for Cheryl, please do leave a comment down in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And that's it for today. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please click the subscribe button so that you can be notified of the next videos that are uploaded. And I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.
Awesome. Bye.
Resilient women in business. Got it. I'm smart. I know the